Yeah. Bad guys in the building.
Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. It's EfikZara, aka Zara, and I'm just one half of this beautiful channel you see before you. How you doing? So guys, I know you're probably like, girl, you're looking kind of sexy, what's going on? Well, I'm trying to do something a little bit different on the channel. Want to do something called lingerie chat. So I'm gonna tell you all about some of my more provocative moments in life. I'd like you all to send in your stories so we could discuss them. If you guys have anything specific you'd like me to speak about, let a young woman know. Today I'm going to tell you all about my low-key side chick experience. It ended up being somewhat deep, even though it should not have been even as deep as a puddle, but hey, such is life. Let's just get right into it. But before we do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Next, be sure to comment down below. If you guys can relate to this story I'm about to tell you, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'm sure many of us have been there in one way or the other, whether knowing or unknowing. Be sure to share this video with all of your friends and your loved ones. And last but certainly not least, subscribe to our channel and be sure to turn your notifications on so you get a notification every time I post a new video. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into this scandalous story.
Nothing you do with it tickle my little soldier. You need to shock, you they look a little sober. I get the Hennessy with just a little soda. Beaucoup d'alcool, de la bonne musique et beaucoup de filles. I am having the time of my life with some ladies that are dressed to kill.
Once upon a time, there I was, a beautiful young woman coming into my own. Yeah, I was pretty young, you guys. It was a few years back. Your girl was starting to taste life. Like, I was actually getting out there. This was kind of like the summer of my coming out and knowing the world. I glowed up like 20 bazillion degrees, and yeah, it was just really lit. If you guys want a story about my glow up, let me know. And if you'd like some tips on how to glow all the way up, let me know. Anyway, moving on. So it was a few years back, your girl had finally glowed up because, you know, blooming flowers got to bloom. And my friends invited my sister and I to a wedding. It was one of my first African weddings, one of my first Nigerian weddings to be very specific. So before the wedding, there was a mixer that we actually low-key weren't invited to. We went anyway, whatever the case may be. We went to the mixer and it was for the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. Now, before the mixer, you know, as girls do, we got super cute or whatever, wore some cute outfits, made sure we were looking all sorts of popping. And we rolled up in there without a care in the world. Little did I know, this night would change my life in a very interesting way. When we entered the party, every eye was on us. We were turning all the heads, you guys. Guys, girls, they were just checking us out left and right. I was like, fam, what's going on? Now, I was new to all of this attention because, like I said, I had just glowed up. I had just kind of come into my own. But I was not opposed to it because it was a very interesting, really exciting, and what have you. So as we progressed to the living room, it was pretty dull, and we decided we needed to spice it up quite a bit. So my friend turned down the lights, pumped up the music, and turned this house party into more of a nightclub setting. Now, there were plenty of guys there eyeing us up and down, but there was one guy standing by himself that caught my eye, and I was shook. I don't have a really good name for this character in this story, but we're just going to call him Damien. And man, Damien was looking real sexy, girl, and he was like checking me out. I was like,
oh my gosh, who is this very attractive buff guy looking at me from across the room?
Let's just say he was all sorts of sexy chocolate, y'all. So Damien was checking me out as I was dancing, and he sat down on a couch not too far away from where I was. Now, even though I had just glowed up, it's not like I had zero experience with guys. I mean, I had like 1% experience or whatever. I sat down on the same couch because I knew he was trying to talk to me. Now, of course, when I sat down, dear Damien decided to say a few words to me. He said,
"Oh, haha, you look like you're having a whole bunch of fun."
Just very casually, you know, very smooth. I was like,
ooh, Damien, get it!
He made conversation very light and easy. Of course, I was pretty relaxed because I was very sure of myself at this point, but I was a little bit tickled. I was like,
oh my goodness, this really attractive guy is trying to talk to me.
So as we conversed a little bit, he introduced himself. He didn't even compliment me or anything. He was just chatting very casually. I was really intrigued by that. He did give me a mild compliment towards the end of our conversation, but he wasn't pushy or on my back, and I thought that was really appealing. So moving on a bit, we were still having fun at the party. There were a few guys on my sister, a few guys on our friends. I think they invited us on their party bus, which was their bachelor party. But fam, like, I don't understand why we would have gone on that kind of an excursion. So y'all, following them inviting us on their party bus, their little bachelor party, we got kicked out of the party, and I can't tell y'all why, but just know I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, we got kicked out of the party. The hostess later apologized to us because she recognized we weren't doing anything inappropriate. It was just an unfortunate event. And I guess the other bridesmaids were not trying to have all of their groomsmen looking at us, which was what was happening. But anyway, right after we were about to leave, after having been kicked out of Le Party, the groomsman, Damien, that was really interested in your girl, came outside and he's like,
Oh, my phone's dead. Please, can I give you my number?
and me being cool or whatever, because you know, I had like 1% knowledge about guys, decided not to text him until the next day. Because, you know, can't be seeming thirsty in these streets, even though we know he was really fine. So I texted him the next day and we made some light conversation. Talked about how I was excited about the wedding. So made my ashoebi and got prepared for the wedding, which was a few days later. Now, when it came time for the wedding, we actually ended up lodging at the hotel where the bridesmaids and the groomsmen were lodging, even though we were literally just ashoebi girls. I mean, hey, gots to turn up one way or another. So we lodged there, chilled out, saw all the groomsmen standing outside in the parking lot checking us out as we walked inside, or should I say sauntered inside. And we proceeded to just get ready to be super duper lit. Now y'all, I don't drink, so I have my ginger ale on deck, but you're going to need some wine for this next part. It's moments like this I wish I actually did drink, because it was just really eventful. So at the wedding, I was looking really cute. I did some Farrah Fawcett hair or whatever. I was wearing my glasses. If you guys don't know, I wear glasses. I was really feeling myself, and our favorite groomsman was too. Now, there were a few other guys trying to talk to me, maybe about 4 or 5 other ones, which was pretty interesting. Again, I was very new to all of this. Even though I was pretty chilled, I was like, wow, this is different. Hashtag glow up. But I did notice at the wedding that our favorite groomsman, Damien, was with another young woman pretty much the entire time. She would come up to him at the table, they would dance occasionally, but your guy was like giving me signals the whole time. Like, he would look at me, smile at me, motion to me. So I literally assumed that the other young woman was his sister. Well, I could not have been any more wrong, but we'll get there. Anywho, we were still at the wedding, chopping life, you know, eating party rice. Actually, I really didn't eat. I had not eaten the day before, and I didn't really eat at the wedding, but I was still having a ton of fun. When it was time to actually get down on the dance floor, our favorite groomsman was dancing with that young woman, but he kept looking at me. I don't know if he was trying to make me jealous or what. I was pretty weirded out, but following that, he came and talked to me, even danced with me a bit. At a point, we were sitting down and just chatting because I was super exhausted from the night before. We had literally stayed up the whole night with our friends, just trying to make sure that we would look really tushed at the wedding. And I mean, it worked out, but we were all so tired. And the wedding was really fun, but the actual event ended up being rather stressful for the bridal party. So while we were sitting down, I was making some casual conversation with my wedding boo, Damien, and he just gently put his hand on my lap, you know? And your girl's not about that life. I had like a pretty interesting slit, and so I was like, yo, I moved his hand and he just locked hands with mine. Now, all of that was really new for me, guys. I did not like really do much of anything in my teen years. It was only when I got into my 20s that life really started to just pop. So yeah, we locked hands. We were chatting a bit, you know, just casually. It was telling me how beautiful I was, etc., making me feel like the only girl in the world. You know, just normal stuff like that. demons everywhere. They're everywhere. Anyway, as the night went on and was coming to a close, I was talking to one of his friends, one of the other groomsmen, and he was like,
Oh, my friend wants to talk to you.
and I was like,
Who, Damien?
and he was like,
Don't be fooled by that one.
I didn't know what he meant at the time, but you guys are about to find out. It gets real crazy. It gets real crazy. So moving on a bit, I went back to school. I was telling my friends, my two best friends at school, about Damien. Shout out to Corey and David. I can mention their names in this video. Hey guys, I told them about him. Told him how attractive he was, how shook I was, how we were talking like every day, how we went on a few dates and stuff like that, because after the wedding, we did go on some dates, y'all. As the year progressed, our relationship soured a bit because I told him I was a virgin and I wasn't trying to do anything like to get rid of that. Still not trying to do anything to get rid of that. And Damien eventually got a bit tired and was like, well, you know, that's cool. I'm glad you're the way you are, but I just can't be in a relationship without sex. And that's cool. I was totally fine with it. At first, I was like,
That sucks.
as the days went by, I was really glad that he was honest with me, and I told him, I was like,
Thank you so much. You know, I'm glad that you value this thing that I'm trying to do, and I appreciate that you're honest with me because this is just something I cannot give you.
let's just say that all of this purity, all of this meta purity, Jesus had you girls back because this plot thickens, girl. It thickens. Let's move forward a bit. I saw Damien at an event and I had done some snooping online on his profile and I kept seeing that same young woman from the wedding in his pictures. Again, I thought she was his cousin. And the way that he framed her on Instagram, it made it seem like she was just a family member. Look, y'all, I'm just gonna insert a real quick tip right here. If a guy does that, chances are he's an F-boy. Chances are he is a boy. So run for your life because that's just a way to keep your relationship on your social media so your girlfriend is pleased, but let all these other babes out there believe that she's just a family member. So I've been doing that snooping for a bit and I happened to encounter him and her at an event. And funnily enough, they were actually right near our station. They were not too far away from where we were stationed during the event. Awkward, to say the least. So Damien kept trying to talk to me and I was like,
Damien, is that not your boo-boo?
like, it was not until a little bit later that I discovered that yes, he was indeed in a relationship with that woman. That's how I high-key avoided almost becoming a side chick. But guys, the story can never be over. Man's not done yet. Man's not hot yet. Man can never be hot. So what had happened next was I discovered and finally knew that yes, he was involved with this young woman. To what extent, I did not know. But a few weeks later, I opened up my phone and I was just scrolling through Instagram, you know, chillin'. Mind you, Uncle Damien was still trying to talk to a young nigga every once in a while. But we wasn't trying to have all of that. So anyway, I was scrolling, minding my business. And what do I see? I'm like, ooh, my favorite wedding page, Bella Naija. I was like,
Oh, that's a cute picture.
that's how I was with my phone. No, I was looking.
That's a cute picture. Oh my gosh. Who is that? They look so happy. This person's named Damien. And Jesus is Lord.
And then when I read the caption, you guys will not believe what that caption said. The caption said they were in a relationship for 6 years. Mind you, Uncle Damien had met me just 2 years prior to them announcing their engagement to the world. As in, the way I wanted to die was not even a joking something. Like, I was shook, y'all. And I wondered because I was actually supposed to get a job with one of her family members. But then all of a sudden, they just halted communication. I didn't understand why. I didn't know what the big deal was. Little did I know, they thought that I was a little thotty and I was chasing Uncle Damien. Yo, Uncle Damien was chasing me the whole time. First of all, they were together for 6 years and my man was still trying to talk to me 2 years prior to their engagement. Like, that thing shook my destiny for me, you guys. I learned some very deep lessons that day. First off, I sent the picture to my sister, I sent it to my cousin, sent it to my mom. I was like, yo, y'all, look at this rubbish. Look at how my life just dodged an extreme bullet. Because Damien's bae comes from a pretty powerful family in this society. So that could have really tarnished my reputation. God forbid anything had actually happened there. That's number one. Number two, what I don't understand about women is why they attack the woman that is the subject of their partner's desires. Like, I was not chasing anybody. I didn't even know. And I asked him, do you have a girlfriend? He flat out told me no, that he's very single, with a very straight face, with his chest. He said, no, I'm single. Lord, to this day, that gives me chills. I can't even begin to fathom being that kind of a person to the one that I love. It's crazy to me. So yeah, y'all, that's how Damien almost took me down. I actually ran into this young woman's family member not too long ago, and I'm sure she doesn't think that I knew why she was snubbing my destiny so hard, but I knew very well it was as a result of that. Look, y'all, if you've ever been in this kind of situation, in fact, before you ever enter this kind of situation, just pray. Number one, that's just it. Pray that no demon locates you to become a side chick. That's number one. Number two, if you're actually a victim, look, don't attack the woman. She may not even know that there's a serious relationship involved. Your partner should be the first one that you check, because no individual cheats with another individual lest they want to. You know what I mean? Unless rape is involved. But I don't know how often that kind of thing would be involved in a cheating situation. Then it wouldn't even be cheating, right? It would just be rape. Just bear that in mind, everyone. My story, I think I was really blessed. I was really blessed. It could have been a lot worse. Like, her family hates me, but that's not really a big deal. At the end of the day, I'm still going to do what I need to do and be very successful. That's really just it. And my conscience is very clear because I went into the whole thing in total innocence. So at the end of the day, I can't change it, but I'm grateful that it happened because I learned a lot. And I learned how easy it is for people to just lie. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the video. That's the moral of the story. I survived a very scandalous incident. We thank God. And I'd like to just remind you guys before we go, comment down below and let me know what kinds of crazy experiences you all have had with these kinds of scandals. Maybe a side chick scandal, maybe a married man scandal, maybe like, I don't know, sugar daddy scandal. Watch my sugar daddy video, that too. It's pretty lit. Subscribe, y'all. It doesn't take more than a second and I'm sure you won't regret it. Turn your notifications on. If you don't have your notifications on, I don't know what you're doing. Be sure also to share this video with all your friends. And last but certainly not least, give this video a big thumbs up. Again, so YouTube knows that this is the kind of content you enjoy and our community can move forward in a very positive way. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I love you guys. Stay away from married men. Stay away from lying demons. And make sure that you pray so you don't enter this kind of struggle. Okay, I'll see you guys in another video. Ta-ta.
Le moment de faire la fête, c'est le moment de faire la fête, Regarde audio neighbor, Besuma go magnet, c'est le moment de faire la fête, Regarde show them, regarde show them, regarde show them, show them. Neighbor, go magnet, audio neighbor, faire la fête.